He's the man behind some of our most famous tennis players, including Lleyton, Hewitt and Alicia Molik. If there's one thing Roger Tyzzer knows, it's how to create a champion. But he warns there's a risk if you go too hard, too early. Roger Tyzzer, welcome to the Ben, Rob and Robbo Show.
Great, yeah, thanks for having me.
Roger, I'm thrilled to have you here. You're very well known in tennis circles. What makes a champion?
Well, that's a big question. There is a lot that goes into it, starting with the parents, the work ethic, the coaching, some very good luck, some hard work, but it's a long, patient process.
Alicia Molik had this to say about you. Roger Tyzzer created a training environment you never wanted to miss. What does she mean by that?
It was an environment that was always challenging. I was so fortunate to have a group of athletes that were inspiring me every day, and I had to inspire them. And to do that, it required a lot of work prior to the programs, and a lot of work during the programs, and a lot of time spent with their family and Alicia and the other athletes as well. But it was a pleasure to work with them because it was something that drove me to make more exciting and better programs.
So, Roger, beside winning lleyton what made Lleyton and Alicia like champions? What did it for them?
Well, they were totally different people too. So that was the interesting part about it is they came from a different mindset. Their process of development was different. Alicia was going to be we knew a later developer in her game because she learnt a lot more than just staying back on the baseline like a lot of other players. She serve volleyed, she chip charged, she came in. So it took a long time to develop that ability. Lleyton was 24/7 tennis. He lived and breathed sport, especially tennis. And he was, at 14 or 15, was a mature adult in the sense of being able to talk to him about tactics and the work he had to do. It was quite amazing. But two totally different approaches we had to take to development. One was more patient, and the other one was trying to hold him back a little bit so he could mature a bit more as he went along.
So, Roger, tell me, how quickly can you tell if someone has got all of those things? Can you just look at Lleyton when he was little or Alicia and just go, no, I can see it in them already? Or does it take a while for them to bloom in front of your eyes, I guess, where you can see, oh, no, I can see something there? How quickly does it happen?
In Lleyton's case, you could probably look at about 14 or so and know that he was on the right path and was going to be very, very good. Alicia was on the right path as well, but we knew it was going to take longer. So a lot of people ask me, can you tell me how good my son and daughter's going to be? But you have to know their background and the work that they've done, the family background to be able to make those decisions. But usually around 14 or 15, most of the things they have are in place. And there's not a lot you can do outside of that if it's been ingrained in for a long time.
Sure. Well, yesterday I actually watched Jerry Maguire, and this quote that stayed in my mind was, it's like popcorn in the pants. Sometimes they pop and sometimes they don't. And I guess there's a lot of potholes that people can fall into, especially parents. And a lot of parents would assume that to make a kid a champion, you have to push them really hard and push them hard early. But you say this often backfires.
It certainly does. The kids that do really well when they're young are those that do a lot of volume. So they could do up to 10, 15 hours a week at the age of, some at 6 or 7 years of age. They are going to get really good very quickly, and they're going to stand out in front of everybody. But my question is always that if you do it very quickly, you're going to be good at 5, 6, 7, maybe for 10 years. And then you get to 16, and all the other ones who sort of took a steady path will catch you anyway, because the skill side has less impact on the outcomes as you get older. So when you're young, if you've got really good skills, you're coordinated, you can get the ball back over the net, you're going to win. But later on, that doesn't win your tennis matches. There's a lot more to it than doing that. So if you're very good when you're young and you're pushed, physically you could be in trouble if you overdo things, but also psychologically you could be as well, because it's the psychological and the physical that dominate how well you apply your skills after the age of, say, 15, 16, 17.
And is that because if you're winning at a younger age, winning is coming easily and you're not pushing yourself, where these other kids, because they're having to get the skills set behind them, they're having to push themselves? Is that why we see this? Some kids will go like that, but the others, as you said, will play the slow and steady pace and even get to the point where they outshine these kids?
That's absolutely correct. The winners at the early age, if they are highly skilled, don't have to do anything except hit the ball back over the net. They don't have to think a lot. They just hit them back and the other player misses. And these other children I really like the kids that are slightly undersized, who haven't played a lot but are really keen, because they're the ones down the track that have had to use a lot more than just their skills to go forward in their matches. And as they get older and they develop strength and they develop psychologically as well, because they're doing it anyway, because they've got to find other ways to win rather than just skill. They're usually the ones that go on and have a very comfortable career.
Now, Roger, if the kids don't have those natural skills or those pillars that you spoke about earlier, is it possible to still make them a champion?
Yes. All those 4 areas are all workable and trainable. So the skill is the hitting of the tennis ball and the technique and getting the shapes and all the strokes, the volleys, the smashes, the serves. The tactical is how do you apply that in situations. The psychological is how you deal with the life of being a tennis player. And the physical is very specific to the sport. So they're all trainable. Obviously, it's very rare that you get a child that comes with all 4 gifted. And you just have to then build on the areas of strength in as many of those areas as you can, and try and cover up a little bit, or find reasons, or find ways around the areas of weakness.
Oh, Roger, there's the players and then there's the parents, and that's a whole other story. We love your insights, and in a month or so, you and I are going to be talking about something very big that you've been working on, and I can't wait to share that with everyone. Roger, thank you so much for joining us today.
Been a pleasure.
It's the Ben, Rob and Robbo, Ben, Rob and